I have a potential customer who is a Christian, and he wants to reach out to other Christian business owners. I know that there's a business owner section, but I noticed there's no like religion, and he just wanted to be able to reach out to them to be able to market to them. Roughly how many people is in that?
You're probably going to have to get real creative within the business owners database.
Well, actually,
Mm-hmm.
when I typed in Jesus and the company description and put the seniority level, because people who want you to know their beliefs make it very well known, right? Like Jesus supporting business, that's what I'm more so looking at right now. They already know.
Oh, wow.
So these are CEOs.
So you went into business professionals. I didn't see where you put Jesus at. What was that?
Company description, possibly, but still.
Like I said, you get creative. You never know what you find. Brian's a genius at this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a rehab committed to connecting people with Jesus Christ. So
Okay.
it's a rehab business that is revolved around Christianity. But some of them are like, actual religious institutions. But yeah, that would be my first bet. Continuing care retirement, Christian retirement community. So there's an owner of a Christian retirement community. Or people on the board or something that's important with the seniority CXO.
So these are just basically businesses that are affiliated with Christianity. They're not necessarily Christians working or running a secular kind of business.
Well, this one would be they provide logistics services. This one's an iron company.
Oh, wow.
Auto service, lighting center.
Yeah, you're right.
But then obviously you have the diocese of Palm Beach right there, so that's not what you're looking for. But still, there are some creative words that you could throw in there. And then I just put CXO as the leader. Virtual bookkeeping. Jesus, come in here.
You know what I would also do, and whatever you're doing for your client, what I would do is I would try and build in some kind of incentivized referral network for these people. So everybody who you do get through to who is associated with this, they're going to know one or two other business owners that may be interested in the same sort of dialogue.
Of course.
So I think, I would just look at probably right from the jump, like, how do I get these guys to refer me? What if everybody sent me one or two more business owners? We're in business, we're really cooking.
And I think there was like 74,000 in that list.
8,200 with CXO, and if you remove CXO, you're left with. And we tried the company description, let's also try the job title. Nah, these are all like altar boys. God made me cleaning services. This is definitely a Christian. Yeah, you'd have to get creative. There's definitely ways to do it.
Yeah, that's a lot more creative than I am.
But I would tell the person buying it, being like, listen, it's not like you have a card that stamps what religion you are versus maybe what language or political party with voter ID. But
exactly,
these are the alternative ways I thought about, and this is also why they're paying you. They're not just paying you to find Christian business owners, they're paying you to figure out a way that's even possible.
Yeah,
right. I was about to say, this is your value right here.
I'm going to focus on A, DataGiss first, and then B, if there's time, I'm going to go into the data store and everything around that. How you can list your own data products and resell everything. DataGiss is a new type of dashboard we built that allows you to find various types of homeowner leads based on previous events. So I'm going to just drop the link in the chat so people can make an account there and play around with it. There's a lot of tools. The one thing I just want to drive everybody's attention to this whole time is this green button on the top right, generate quick leads. This button allows you to quickly go down any pipeline to start finding homeowners that may experience some type of damage on their property, or they might be in the market to sell their property. All the different cases, these are all different ways you can find that. The one I like the most is this AI address finder. This address finder keeps up with all of the storms that are tracked and measured every single day. These storms here specifically only end up here if the weather, being the organization that monitors the weather, if they issue a polygon because the storm is severe enough. So we're in winter, high wind. So even in Kentucky, they're not getting tornadoes or hail right now. They're getting snow. In the event that there are not any new records you want to find here, we also have this storm polygon leads, which is slightly different. This right here is actually creating AI generated polygons that aren't created by the weather systems. Imagine you have a whole radar of a bunch of greens, reds, and you took picture every single minute of how the storm moves. So the last big tranche of storms that were worthy of getting alerts was 10 days ago. So now it's going to fill in everything. This is a collection of probably 500 pictures that are just overlapping consistently over here. And assuming they didn't create polygons for all of these, what we do is see what polygons were created by NOAA. The only polygons they created were for flood areas down here and up here. They weren't worried about high winds because, well, they fired everybody there. What we're doing is all of these red areas, we created our own bot where it will remove all of this automatically, and it will capture the addresses and draw a polygon on its own without you having to do anything every single day. And when it does that, they end up inside of this tab right here called Leads CRM. Once they're in Leads CRM, you are able to select who you want to enrich to. So you can click any of this, move to address management, and that doesn't cost you any tokens. Once that's moved to address management, this is your little type of data list. Anything that you want to just move over, you can. You don't have any contact information to any of these people yet. That's where the next phase comes in. When you finally want to start using your credits, right here, you would be able to select the people. Right now, you can only do 500 at a time. Whenever you're in address management, you just select enrich with Avocadata, which was that green button right before. These are the leads that we now queued up to get the contact information. So it should happen pretty quickly, which it has already. This is the newest cell phone number. These are fallback numbers. This is the information we have on the property. Now, if you wanted to get the email for these people, you could also do that. You would just have to hit the email or the enrichment button. Then you can select lookup email, use the lookup email, and it will then capture the email for you. And this is going through many sources online. It's not going through any back-end API. We've never been about that. We've always created our own systems to get real data. I want to point this out. It says trust right here. More likely than not, you are not going to find information just yet on that. I haven't formatted this type of search right just yet. So try to avoid unlocking anything with trust or LLC, and that will alleviate most of those problems. What I just showed you were two ways: the storm polygon leads and the AI address finder. There's still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more ways to find leads. So what I'm going to do is jump directly into the homeowner leads database. Avocadata has had a homeowner leads database for years that we've kept up to date, and we're swapping it out with this new one. This new one about twice as many records. So a lot of the states we were missing in counties are totally filled in right now, but that's going to bring us to about 110 million homeowners. If you were looking for specific homeowners, you'd be able to select multiple states if you wanted to. So I'm just going to look for Maryland and Delaware. And then this is the homeowners that load up. And just like Avocadata, you can do your filtering and you can export and save the leads directly. So if these are the people we want, we can select them, move to address management, everything flowed right in. And it's all 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. If you want to get very fancy, you can go through these tools. But if you don't want to get lost and you want to not dive down the rabbit hole, which is very fun to do, if you're trying to be very quick, your boss wants it immediately, doesn't care about any of this stuff, this is where you always go, and you will always find the leads you're looking for. Second thing with this, there are now a lot of integration. So you are able to integrate multiple dialers if you have them. So adding Go High Level, Salesforce, or HubSpot, and add in some custom APIs and webhooks if you choose to.
To that point, let me jump in real quick, Brian. Just briefly, I just want to share with everybody. So if you've been around for a while, you've heard us talk about this, you've seen some early iterations. Now you see it's live. It's going to continue to get better. We're going to continue to roll out more integrations and connect it more. For anybody who knows that they're going to need a tool like this and you want to save yourself some money, I'll drop my email in the chat. You can hit me up. We have some annual enterprise plans that we're going to do for some early adopters. We have like 2 or 3 slots open. And we're going to work very closely with them to really help refine a lot of the connectivity and functionality of this stuff, to take it to the next level. And what we know right now is that everything that Brian has showed you is like, man, it's hands down. If you can sell based on live weather data or notifications or any information like that, early adopters are selling backcountry ski packages because they're tracking snowfall. There's, roofing companies and solar companies and adjusters, and there's a ton of industries that need this type of information, and they're hitting the ground running. They're getting it early. They're the first ones that are contacting these people, or at least the first ones that are targeting and putting ads in front of them or using callers to qualify them. It's going to be one of the most powerful new tools in the marketplace as we continue to make it more robust, add more connectivity, and frankly, just more functionality in it. So I'm very excited about that. I'll drop my email in the chat. If anybody's interested in an annual plan, save yourself a lot of money. Early adopter will work really close with you to get some of the other functionality and connectivity done for you. Let's talk.
Yeah, I'll take a quick second. Any questions on this so far? If I can go over, take 5 minutes. All right, so we will carry on. List yourself as a vendor. You'd have to speak with us. But what we found is there's about 5 things that have to go right in order to be successful with any of this. Obviously, the data is one part, but there's still 4 other parts. You have to be good at sales, but before you're good at sales, you have to be good at prospecting. And before you're good at prospecting, you have to be good at how the heck to actually deliver messages to the prospect. So more likely than not, people fail in between there. Part of what we were thinking is this social network where people can actually work more with each other, but it's more in a verified sense, not the Wild West of Facebook. And the end goal and the end thing that has to happen is people have to be successful with data. If they're not, then, well, the whole upstream doesn't matter at that point. So if you are good at email marketing, if you're good at setting up automations and you want to get featured on our marketplace, that is something we can do, and just reach out to us for that. All of these data products that you can put together, you can transfer into your Avocadata account. Avocadata came first. There's about 300 different white labels right now that do their own thing. And the big thing that we just are getting released, or we already have released, that we're starting to get our messaging out on, is the data store. So the DataGiss is not a white label currently. We do offer it. It's very expensive as a white label, but you're not able to, in the $4.99 plan, white label it. But what you can do is you can build these little segments of data, and in your white label, you can pre-build these types of leads for them. So you can upload data just like before with the marketplace. You would have to create your little database. When you do this, you just have to rename the columns. And when you rename the columns, they just have to match the spreadsheet. It's not that hard. But book an appointment if you need help with it. And after you do all this, upload the data, make the columns, you're able to go into your data store. Your data store is located under Data Store White Label. And just like before, you just need to update the A record and add in a subdomain. So everyone's data store looks like this, and you can customize however you want this to work. So if a user does not want to come out and go through all the filtering that stresses them out, like a CRM filtering, what you are able to do is come within your marketplace after you get this on, go to data store. You can then click create data store. What I want to do is I want to make a store specifically for aged roofing lead. And why are they going to be aged roofing lead? Because within my lead management and lead CRM, I specifically looked for the severe alerts that occurred that were because of hail or some other type of event. So you could filter this on this side to select the ones that had the hail. And when you are in here, you would be able to move them over from your lead management system as a data product once you make the actual table in here. So once the table's made in here, you would be able to name the product what you wanted. So I don't have a roofing category yet. So I'm going to go make a category right here, call it roofing. And then I'm going to add a subcategory for under the roofing and call it Hailstorm. So now I'm going to go over to hit create data store. We'll call it a roofing and Hailstorm, May 2025. And let's just assume that was the filter I did within here. And then those would be the leads we would end up moving in. So we could select our alert type and the date range and whatever other things you want to. Does have a damage assessment, the value of the property, a lot of other things I'm not going to go into right now. But when you have this all determined, you're able to have people filter it directly from the data store. I'm going to go add this to roofing, add this to hail. I'm going to say it's going to cost 1,000 credits to buy, which would be $10. You can add description. This is a list, and this is whatever you want to describe it as. We call age roofing. Some people might want to call it leads. Some people might want to call it data. You know, everyone has a different cup of tea that makes them want to do this. Within here, you would then be able to select the database you uploaded. So I'm just going to do this one as an example. And more often than not, you might want to do additional filters for the customer that you recognize might confuse other people. So for instance, if we know we're looking for homeowners because they have roofing damage, one of the most common sense things to do is, well, let's just flip it to yes for a homeowner to remove any potential data that might not be a homeowner and avoid any confusion in the future. We're left with 40,000 records from this one specific database. After doing that, and we can break down more filters if we want. If we wanted to make sure everything had a skip trace cell phone, for instance, because we know the people buying this are doing more telemarketing than not, then we would want to be able to give them the best data so they come back and remove all the headaches that they would have had from filtering this themselves. But when all said and done, you can click create data store. You are able to add an image. I just didn't do that because I don't have one. While that's creating, we'll go back over to the subdomain for the marketplace. We have right here, we have our cost per record. We have our category. It loads some samples of the data that comes directly from the table itself that you have pre-done. Now, your customer can simply just purchase, and this page will be indexed on Google. So you'll be able to bring in organic traffic with the specific keywords that you specify on here. If this is the brick that they want, am I logged into the right account? If that was the brick that they wanted, now they can either instantly download it. All of this would be hidden from the user. So now there's really not much to confuse them. And they would just be directed to this data store tab, which has the data that they unlocked from the marketplace. New pathway where people pay you. This direct instance, you are able to corral them into a very tight area to simplify the data monetization and data commerce process.
You know, for early adopters and anybody who wants to get on this, obviously hit me up. I drop my email in there. You can schedule an appointment with Kush, get a full demo. If you are looking for Avocadata, obviously schedule an appointment. There was a question about if you can access both under one plan. They do obviously work together because when you and Rich address data, it enriches from the Avocadata ecosystem. So there is a plan that if you need to access both, we can help you get on that plan. Feel free to contact us and talk to us. You know, your needs. I think one of the things that most people should take away from today was the very first question that we had. The idea that any of these are just going to be an off-the-shelf solution for you is a lie. If somebody tells you they have an off-the-shelf data solution for you that just works like a charm no matter what, they're lying to you. And you probably know that. So the idea here is talk to us. Let us help find you the data that you're looking for, at least closer to the touch points that you're looking for. so you can grow your sales and do what you need to do. And sometimes it's straightforward, and then sometimes you got to get really creative like Brian did today. But we will put our heads together and we will all collectively come up with really creative ideas to help you drill down on the actual data that you need. And that's what we're here for. So, with that said, thanks everybody for participating. Thanks for the questions. That is how we make this system better. It's how we improve our products. It's how we stay plugged in with you guys and understand your needs. So, anything comes up, hit us up, schedule an appointment, drop me an email if you're looking for enterprise or annual on DataGiss. Like I said, there's technically 3 slots open. I'm in one conversation now. I'm pretty sure that's going to close. So we'll call it 2 slots left for this annual. You're going to save yourself a lot of money. I mean, literally, when you work it out, it's like half price. But anyway, hit me up. Thanks for attending. Tell a friend. Let's keep growing.
Thank you, Stuart. Thank you, everybody. Thanks, Jack. Yeah, hit us up, Jack. We'd like to talk with you and see what you do.
Word. All right.
Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks. Appreciate it, Brian.
Lisa.